Hey there, Sparkrock community. We're back with another release for Sparkrock HRP. This release introduces a brand new integration between Sparkrock and TRAKSTAR applicant tracking software, designed to take the manual handoffs out of recruiting and onboarding. So in this video, we're going to set up the new Sparkrock TRAKSTAR connection, publish job requisitions to TRAKSTAR directly from an HR request, and sync hired candidates back into Sparkrock as new hire records. Let's get started. Before you can publish anything or sync candidates, you need to get the integration connected. This release introduces a new TRAKSTAR Setup page, and you can navigate to it through Tell Me by searching for TRAKSTAR. This is where you store your TRAKSTAR base URL, your TRAKSTAR API key, and run a quick connection test to confirm everything's wired up before you go live. There's also a new dedicated permission set, SRW TRAKSTAR Setup, for the administrators who manage these credentials, and SRWHR Basic has been updated to have read-only access to the TRAKSTAR Setup. So now I've pasted in my URL and API key, and before enabling the connection for use, you need to test it. There's a test connection action you can select to make sure your URL and API key are correct. If everything's good, the connection status will change to connected, and the last connection date will update. Now, when you're ready, you can hit the enabled switch to enable the connection. Previously, if you wanted to advertise a role externally, you had to recreate the requisition manually inside TRAKSTAR. That meant duplicate data entry, and things could get out of date very quickly. Well, with this release, you can publish a job requisition straight to TRAKSTAR from the HR request itself. When you open an HR request with reason code 10 job requisition, you'll see a new Publish to TRAKSTAR action. You can also see it from the HR request list view too, and you can multi-select and publish a number of requisitions at once. Before we do that, there's a new TRAKSTAR Fast tab on the HR requests, and there are two sections, Opening Outbound and Candidate Inbound. We'll see those in action as we go through the process. So let's select Publish to TRAKSTAR. It'll do its thing, and once published, the TRAKSTAR's opening URL is stored on the HR request and shown as a clickable link along with the published status. And you have a clear trail tying each requisition to its external posting. A couple things to note. Only HR requests with reason code 10 job requisition are eligible to publish, and the request can only be published once, so there's no risk of accidentally creating duplicate openings. The second half of the workflow is bringing hired candidates back into Sparkrock HRP without having to type in their details by hand. When it moved to the hired state in TRAKSTAR, you can pull them in using the new Sync Hires action on the HR request list. The system fetches the candidate from TRAKSTAR, filters for anyone in the hired state, and creates a new HR request for each one using reason code 15 new hire set to the open status with the effective date pulled in from TRAKSTAR. The HR request is pre-populated with the candidate's name, email, phone, and the TRAKSTAR opening reference, so HR doesn't need to retype any of these basics. Everything HR needs to pick up where TRAKSTAR left off is already on the record, and from there, your existing onboarding workflow and processing workflow takes over, but the data is already in place, ready to go. So that's a wrap on this release of Sparkrock HRP. This release connects Sparkrock and TRAKSTAR together through a secure configurable setup, lets HR teams publish job requisitions to TRAKSTAR in a single click, automatically turns hired candidates into onboarding-ready HR requests, and keeps full traceability between every requisition and the hires it produces. Be sure to review the full release notes, and thank you so much for watching.